Hello, day 20. So today is the midway point. Still having some emotional stuff. So I've been having a rough food day again today. I'm eating fine. I haven't had any more sugar, but I'm still, having a rough time. So today after work, I went and I went grocery shopping, and if you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, then you saw that I got a bunch of really healthy foods. I bought chicken and salad for dinner, and then I bought a bunch of fruits for smoothies in the coming mornings or tomorrow morning or whatever. So I'm gonna kind of like play around and see what I like and what I don't like. So yeah, feeling good about that, proud of myself for that, but yeah, still having kind of a weird, is this ever gonna get easier, kind of everything is so big kind of day, so hopefully it'll get better. I'm just kind of like, I'm in it, I'm not backing out, I'm not changing what I'm doing, I'm still motivated, I'm just, tired and frustrated, so hopefully I'll start feeling better in the next couple days. Tomorrow I'll do another weigh-in because it'll be the third 7 days. It'll be day 21. So so tomorrow we'll see where I'm at with my weight. But yeah, so instead of just kind of rambling on about that, Kelsey, my lovely friend, tagged me in a challenge which she just created. We're both very huge musical buffs, and so her tag was, what are your top 10 musicals ever in the world? So I had a very serious think, because this is a very serious subject for both of us. And came up with 10 very difficultly, I don't think that's a word, but whatever, I'm using it. I've was going through all my old music and trying to figure out what I wanted. This is kicking it old school style of all my different mixed ones that friends have made me and stuff. Yeah, so I went through and made a list. I also went through my movie selection, which is there, and it's huge to see which ones I've got, what musicals I've got that I love. So here we go. Number 1 would have to be Newsies. It was I think it was made in 1992, and it stars Christian Bale. Yes, it stars Batman. He sings and he dances, and he has a New York accent because the basic plotline of the movie is it's the 1920s, I think. Don't quote me on the year, but it's based on the real events, very loosely based on real events of a newsboy strike that happened in New York, where they were sort of unionizing themselves for better wages because they were getting paid practically nothing, and they were living in really terrible conditions and orphanages / work homes. So they kind of banded together, but it's my favorite of all time ever. I have tons of memories attached to it that are of me and Aaron and Shannon, my friends who I've mentioned in quite a few other of these videos, of us singing and dancing and running around their living room and just kind of having a really, really amazing time. So that would have to be numero uno, because I can listen to it anytime, anywhere. I know almost everything about it. I know lots of the names of the cast. It has a warm, fuzzy place in my heart. Also, fun fact, the director, choreographer, and like producer, whatever. He did pretty much everything, but his name's Kenny Ortega, and he did the High School Musical movies. So if you want an idea of what the choreography looks like for Newsies, it's very similar to High School Musical 1, 2, and 3. But I love it. It's amazing. It's also probably where I had, this is gonna sound crazy, but it probably where I had like my sexual awakening, where I like started noticing like boys for real, because the cast is all boys and they're all very pretty and they all can sing and dance, and that's like my dream. But yeah, so if you haven't seen it, you have to watch it because it's amazing, and it's like my favorite movie of all time, probably not just of musicals but of movies in general. So watch it. Newsies. On to number 2 is another old movie, but this one's older than the last. It's Sound of Music. That one also has a lot of special memories for me. I love the music. I adore Julie Andrews. If I could meet one person in the world that was like a famous person who's influenced me the most, it would be Julie Andrews. She's amazing. I just want to know her because, you know, she was my entire childhood, and she embodies all the warm fuzzies for me. But yeah, I have a ton of really great memories attached to that movie and that story, and it's a classic that I grew up with and that makes me happy and brings me joy, and you know, that's what musicals should all be about. I mean, there are a huge amount of musicals that are very sad and emotional, and you know, and Sound of Music is emotional as well, but you know, in a very light, you know, very, very fun, beautiful kind of a way. So yeah, so that would be number 2. Number 3 is Singing in the Rain. It used to be my top spot, but that's when I wasn't really remembering Newsies, which will always and forever top everything else. But yeah, Singing in the Rain is just, it's so much fun, and Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor were so incredibly talented, and just made it seem so fun and easy, and Debbie Reynolds is amazing. Her voice is beautiful, and one of my favorite scenes from that movie is Moses, and I frequently have that song running through my head because I love it so much. It made me want to learn to tap dance, and I'm pretty positive in some future date I will eventually learn to tap dance, because I want to at the very least learn how to do that entire scene, maybe also do the Fit as a Fiddle scene. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you haven't seen the movie, and that means you need to, because I don't know if we could be friends otherwise. So you know, you should probably watch that movie. But but yeah, Gene Kelly is just incredible. He was so talented. He went on to direct movies, and he directed Hello Dolly with Barbara Streisand, and you know, he was just incredible. You know, his dancing abilities were insane, and if you're like me, then you have watched the Moses scene a bunch of times, and you notice the differences between Donald O'Connor and Gene Kelly's like dancing styles. Like Donald O'Connor is much more like big movements, like blah blah blah, and kind of like yeah, a little more slapsticky when he dances, because he was a comedian before he was like a dancer and a singer. And then Gene Kelly was a little more subtle and very much so, you know, very fluid movements, and I just found it really fun to watch. So yeah, Singing in the Rain is number 3. Number 4 would have to be Oliver, and that one also has a lot of really good memories for me. Sound of Music and Oliver, I very much so associate with my friend who passed away this last summer when we I would go over to her house and we would watch those. And she when she was in school, in elementary school, they did versions of Sound of Music and Oliver, and so I remember like practicing with her singing those songs, and then just, you know, randomly bursting into song with her of those songs. We also used to listen. We used to do a lot of artwork in her dining room. And so we would like put on musicals like that in Chicago, and then also other music like James Taylor and Tom Petty and a bunch of others, and just like do artwork for hours and hours and hours on end. So I have a lot of really special memories of that, of Oliver and my friend. And so yeah, so that one's quite a bit darker than the other ones that I've talked about so far. It's set in, you know, olden London, and, you know, it's definitely not in nice conditions. If you haven't seen it, the 1972 version is, in my opinion, the best one. Because it has the best musical performances of it, and it's great. Ron Moody as the character Fagin is just amazing. Like, he plays it, he has a lot of depth to the character without being like too intense or like overdoing it, but then also like he can go between like the funny character and like the dark character. I mean, I'm kind of rambling now because it's really late, but yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's a really good movie. It's a lot of fun up until, you know, towards the end of the movie, when things start getting kind of dark and very sort of real life. But it's really good. It's, you know, and you want to stay till the end and see what happens to Oliver, and, you know, and it's the story of Oliver Twist, so, you know, it's an old story that pretty much everybody knows, but it's a really fun take on it, so definitely worth a watch. All right, looks like, so number 5 is Wicked, and that one hit me at middle school. Like, it became famous and like big when I was in middle school. I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade, and the music just took me away. It was amazing. I loved Wizard of Oz. I saw Wizard of Oz when I was old enough to not be afraid of the flying monkeys, so it never scared me. So I always just loved it and thought it was the most magical thing. So then when Wicked came out, it was just like, it's an extension of Oz, and, you know, I love it. And Idina Menzel is just flawless. Like, her voice is just incredible, and Kristen Chenoweth and her have such great chemistry. It was a beautiful, beautiful recording, like, album. And then when I went to see it, Shoshana Bean was there playing Elphaba at the Paramount Theater in downtown Seattle, and she just slaughtered it. She just killed it. It was her. She was amazing. She was on par with Idina, even potentially better than Idina at moments. And I think when I saw it, Megan Hilty, who also starred on the TV show Smash, was playing Glinda, and she was just amazing. She was perky and bubbly and fun, and then she had her moments where she got, you know, deep, and you know, no more surface stuff. She got, you know, she really started to see the world and became the mature Glinda, and it was perfect. They were just amazing. And then I saw it again in London when I went with school, and it's magical. It's a beautiful show. It's fun. The costumes and the hair design and the set design are just amazing. It's one hell of a show. So if you ever get a chance to go see it, you should definitely see it. If you haven't heard the recording, go listen to it. It's beautiful. You know, the songs are fun, and upbeat, and then, you know, sad and heartbreaking, and it's a really good show. So yeah, so that's number 5. Number 6 is Last 5 Years. It was recently turned into a movie with Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan. I haven't actually watched it yet. I bought it when it came out on iTunes, but I'm a weirdo and I have this like, I don't want to see it yet. There's something about it that the music portrays the story so well, and I have this idea in my head of what it would be. And I originally heard it in high school. A girl named Carol that I went to school with introduced me to The Last 5 Years, and when I heard it, it nestled into my heart and it never left. It's the story of a couple who, at the beginning of the show, the woman is at the end of the relationship and the man is at the beginning, and so it's a really interesting sort of timeline for the musical, because the songs go from you know, the end of a relationship and the heartbreak and the sadness and the anger and the you know, all of that emotion to, you know, the next song being the beginning of the relationship. So it's like the honeymoon, and, you know, they're getting to know each other and there's the excitement of falling in love. And it's so interesting, and the melody is beautiful, and it's really well done. The original cast was Norbert Leo Butz, who was also in Wicked, the original cast, playing Fiyero, and then Sherry Renee Scott, who was in the Broadway version of Little Mermaid as Ursula. And their voices go so well together, and the new version with Jeremy Jordan and Anna Kendrick, their voices are just beautifully paired together, and, you know, it's a really interesting take on a musical, and like the way that a musical can portray, you know, an emotional journey. So it's one I highly recommend. Let's see, after that is 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. It's a long one, but it's a really fun show. It's actually, when they do it, the actors actually have to spell words, and they have audience participation in it. So they like bring some like 5 or 6 audience members up to the stage and like have them actually participate in parts of the spelling bee. Like in different songs, there are parts where people are actually spelling words and being asked to spell specific words and things, and it's really fun to see. And it's a bunch of kids, or you know, adults playing kids, singing about their different experiences as, like, you know, the overachiever who's trying to impress their parents, the little girl who her mom and dad are probably going to be splitting up, and she's having a hard time with that because she loves both of them, and she's kind of in the middle. And it's a really fun, it's got a lot of really fun songs. They're kind of funny because one of them's called My Unfortunate Erection, and it's the former winner of the spelling bee loses because he gets an erection on stage because one of the other contestants' sister he finds really attractive. And they're like, so it's like all the characters are kind of hitting puberty and like just before puberty, so they're like, you know, having all those kinds of intense you know, new learning about themselves moments. And there's another song in it called Pandemonium, which is really, really excellent. It's a fun sort of everybody in the cast singing kind of a song about, you know, how frustrating it is that you know, sometimes you get the easy words, and like, or it seems like everybody else is getting easy words and you're only getting hard ones, and it's so unfair, and it's so much fun. In the original cast, I can't remember his name, but he's on Modern Family, and he's one of the he's the redheaded man in the gay couple. But yeah, he's in it. I think his character's name is Leaf Coneybear. It's very funny, and he has like finger puppets. It's very funny. So everybody, it's one I highly recommend. After that is Mamma Mia. That one I also associate with my friend who died. That one we played the most frequently when we would be doing art and hanging out in her bedroom and talking, and so frequently, you know, I have the soundtrack on my phone, and frequently when I'm, you know, having a moment where I really miss her, I usually have my phone on shuffle, and when I'm having a really hard moment where I'm, you know, really missing her and really upset about it, one of those songs will come on, and it feels to me like she's kind of saying, you know, I love you and I'm okay, and that to me is really special. So yeah, you know, even before I had all the emotion attached to that musical, I love ABBA, so it was really easy for me to fall in love with the music because it's all ABBA music, just reworked to make sense in a story, and it's just a really fun musical. So you know, easy way to see it is the movie with Meryl Streep, and you know, that's really fun, but then also, you know, see it on stage, because musicals are meant to be on stage, I think. Well, I mean, most musicals, some were meant to be in movies, but the ones that were originally on stage are definitely, I think, you gotta see it on stage at least at one point in your life. Next is Moulin Rouge, because I went through puberty to that musical, which, you know, of course means it has all the emotion for me, but also it's beautiful. Baz Luhrmann is one of my favorite directors, and I just think he has such an interesting take on so many things. So it's just, I love it, and I love Nicole Kidman. I think she's gorgeous and intelligent and talented, and I have a lot of respect for her. And Ewan McGregor, who I think is really talented as well. I actually got to meet him once, and he's so nice. You know, really down to earth, really, you know, humble, genuine, friendly. I can't say enough good things about him. He's a very cool guy. But yeah, I just love that musical. The songs are gorgeous, and their voices are just, I love it. My last one is a tie between Chicago and Hairspray. They're kind of the opposite of each other in that Hairspray is a fun, like, you know, high school girls, like, kind of navigating their way through racial equality and love and, you know, breaking free of their parents and you know, that kind of stuff. And then, you know, Chicago is the tale of two murderesses, the merry murderesses of the Cook County Jail, but both have such amazing songs and such fun, like, cast numbers, and just they're equally so good. So it was hard to not have them both on there. So yeah, it's a tie. but yeah, so yeah, that's my 10. I'm sure I have tons more because I'm a huge musical buff, like I said. One of the musicals that I've recently got really into is the stage version of Heathers, the cult classic movie from the 80s with Winona Ryder and Christian Slater. The music is actually really good, and the woman who plays Veronica, the main character, her voice is just, I love it. I just yeah, I don't know, it's really raw and just good. I don't know, I just really love it. It's a fun one. So so yeah, so that's my top 10. If you haven't seen any of them, I highly recommend all of them. I love all of them to bits, and you know, I don't think I'd be the person I am today if I didn't have any of those, if I had like not encountered any of those on the list. They all you know, are attached to some really intense emotions and moments, like beautiful and fun moments that I have that I don't think I'd be the same if I didn't have those in my life. So it's weird how much music and you know, art and like fun shows like that can impact your life. You don't really think about it until moments like this. Also, it's really late, so I'm getting really like deep in my head. So I probably should end this video. Also, it's been 25 minutes of me just talking at you, so I'm sorry. I'll shut up now and go to bed. Thank you so much for watching my long-winded video. I love you all. Feel free to like and share this video if you have anybody who's looking for some good music or musicals to look into. And subscribe to my channel if you want to know when I post new videos. Because after this 40-day challenge, it will be more like once a week. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Bye!